and Rogue. We start to the bottom left side of this Zerg versus Zerg best of 5 on Redshift, as we do have the Red Zerg from Jinair Green Wings. It is, of course, Rogue. And to the top left hand side, our Orange Zerg player from Titan X1 is Impact. Alrighty then, game 1 of the best of 5, and we look to see where we're going to be going from here. What's up, everyone out in the chat? How are we all feeling today? Let me know what's up. Let's hear some energy for this grand final. If you're still out there tuning in, I want to hear who you're cheering on in this ZvZ. Is it Rogue? Is it Impact? Let me know right now, and I'd love to mention a few of you live on the stream here as we get this up and rolling. So, that's different. Just to start things off in general, that's different. Both obviously, I mean, this is going to be scouted, right? Because it's going to be scouted because no way your Overlord doesn't fly over this. So Rogue is opening just not quite how you'd usually expect a Zerg player to open here in the early stages of game number 1. He's putting his hatch on the other side of these minerals, which means he doesn't have access to the gas, but he does still manage to mine the minerals in some sort of normal manner. It also means he's going to be able to make units and attack very quickly across the map, which would suggest some kind of roach-based play, perhaps? I guess we'll find out very soon as we get this set up and ready to roll. I'm waiting for the day where one player takes the gold base here and the other guy just takes the gold base here at the same time. He's just like, well, shit, I guess we're sharing now, aren't we? I don't even know what you would do there. Do you have a spine crawler wall over it? Like, what do you even do in that scenario? That's actually kind of crazy. I wouldn't even know. It'd be really kind of strange. Anyways, Rogue will start mining on this side. He'll build a spine crawler here too. Both players with Ling speed on the way. We'll see if they commit, because Impact's already going towards roaches, which of course would sort of signify, well, you know, maybe the lack of need for Ling speed. Kind of depends if he's going to play just aggressive Roach Ling, as we are going to see the Bane nest from Rogue, so he's definitely interested in playing Ling Bane. As we are going to see his spine crawler will take some hits, and we'll have to pull a few drones forwards here to help out. And Redshift, throughout the day, you know, throughout the 3 weeks has been in the map pool, has already been showing us some crazy games. You're going to see the spine crawler is actually going to push forwards. It will be able to get to the wrong side of the mineral line of Impact, and if you can stop mining here, obviously that becomes quite an issue. The Queen coming over to support it as well. Well then, this is getting interesting, because now it's a Queen, a Spine, and Lings against Lings and a Queen, and this gold base has to be evacuated from Impact. He has to get out of there. So he is gone. Roach is on the way up, but the issue is with the Roach, can they even fight the spine crawler from that side? Can they reach it? Not sure. Rogue's going to throw down a creep tumor to help himself out. Ling's coming around the right side. Ling's speed about to kick in, because this is the part where the Banelings from Rogue are going to be very important to help out in the defense, as these first few Zerglings coming along here. Again, Roach is on the way over, and that gold base just not mining at all. It means that Rogue does have an income advantage at the moment. First Banelings do finish morphing in, and the first one is going to go off on just a couple of those Lings. Ooh, the second Baneling goes off not too effectively either, so the Queen now lost and Rogue's losing drones in the main. He does get his own Lings back home, but it's going to be a 17 to 18 worker count. It's actually going to be okay, because again, he still has the gold base to work with. He'll lose the spine core now, which will give Impact access back to his own gold base. He's going to be seeing a few Lings and Roaches still gathering together on this watchtower. Another spine crawler from Rogue coming forwards here, as the Lings are going to go for the surround. Spine crawler going to need to try and burrow during all of this mayhem, as the Lings do get their surround and they're getting good damage because of it. A couple of Banes have not found the opportunity to attack just yet, and Rogue is going to break through the Roaches. Yeah, as the spine crawler burrows, goodbye drones, you're not allowed to mine here anymore apparently. And right now Rogue is just overrunning because of the fact that these Roaches just do not do so well in low numbers against the Zerglings when they get full surrounds and all the rest of it. The Queen going to come forward to try and help out. A couple of Banes still around to help out here and there as well. I like the idea of morphing one of these Roaches into a Ravager. We'll definitely save it for a little while. The Banes have kind of maneuvered their way around here though, and as they get up the ramp it will be potentially a... oh, he just needs to get rid of that one Bane at least, but the other one will make the mineral line, which means the rest of these drones will start to drop very quickly, which means it only takes a couple of Lings into the mineral line for a couple of moments to really get damage done here. As now 19 workers against 15, army supplies are dead even, and we are going to be seeing the spine crawler just relocating slightly to the side here. Rogue just going to reposition himself for that. More Lings of Impact down to the south side. Some more Zerglings popping out over here, some more Banelings coming through. We are going to be seeing Queens Roaches and Ravages still coming up to the top as well now. And more Zerglings just coming out and across the map. Those Zerglings at the front going to be in a little bit of trouble as we see those Zerglings continue to push on forwards. A Corrosive Bow will come down and kill off the Spinecrawler here right away. Across the map we still see some Zerglings fighting away against each other and a few Banelings coming forwards as well to also see what they can get up to. And so there's not really a lot. Next up, Queens, Roaches and Ravages are still showing up, and we're going to be seeing these Zerglings coming forwards to the Watchtower. Some more Banes coming through. And we do see Rogue is potentially ready to surround again, still playing Ling Bane against the Roach style. The Roaches are getting into better numbers now though, which is a bit more concerning. Impact going to try and run another run by through in towards the natural and then into the main base potentially in the next couple of moments. Ling's already on top of it from Rogue, so he's going to be able to deal with that. We're still in this weird scenario where Impact is just down on workers and he doesn't have the gold-based mining. So Rogue has got the better income here throughout this entire game. You can see he's just mining way, way more. And that is obviously helping him out a lot. There's a bit of a difference as well because Impact's also mining double gas. No, he isn't. He's mining one gas. Wow, I got scammed. I really thought this was the second gas there when I just looked at it a moment ago. Just single gas then. Is actually going to see Impact will kill an Overlord of Rogue. Oh my god, it's going to get away. That's kind of crazy. Well, Bane from Impact can definitely help against some of the Banes, and the Ling play from Rogue, of course, makes it a lot more difficult for him to just find a surround and stick to it. It's actually maybe the missing piece of the puzzle right here, as we do see the Roach one. It's funny, as Rogue goes into Roaches, Impact sort of techs backwards into Banelings, because they both kind of need the tech of each other to continue fighting here. The Lings are going to continue kind of coming up through the center of the map, and a few Banelings moving in, 8 more Roaches on the way out here from Rogue as well. Oh, this Ling counterattack's going to be deadly. There's so many of them. Has to pull away from the Baneling though. Now he can go into the main base. It buys Rogue a bit of time, but I think Rogue's just going to commit forwards. I don't think Rogue has any real reason not to commit forwards right now. He knows there's going to be very few units here. There's still some. The Spinecrawler gets back as well. Drone count's disappearing for Impact. Now it's a now or never move from Impact, but he's not even going to make the move. He knows he doesn't have enough. GG. Rogue. I'm going to kick this off. Impact versus Rogue game number 2. Sorry, I was just trying to figure something out there for a moment. This is a best of 5, guys. All 5 games will be played if it goes to 2-2. Otherwise, it does first to 3. 100% best of 5 though. No swapping down to a best of 3 here in the Kung Fu Cup. Lots of money on the line. The organisers demand the best of 5. Hashtag demand it. Mwahahaha. To the top left-hand side, our red Zerg player. This, my friends, is Rogue. Going up against the blue Zerg on the bottom right-hand side, it is of course Impact from Titan X1. So yes, best of 5 underway right here, as Hatch, Gas and Pool will come up at least from Impact. Hatch, Pool, Gas from Rogue, so a slight difference there on the gas timing. Overall it shouldn't make too much of an influence, but we'll see if it does cause any divergence in terms of the build orders here, and just see if it really changes much up. I don't think it should. If in general it's just, I think, an extra drone comes out a little bit faster. Actually, it doesn't come out faster for Rogue. I don't even know what it gives you. Hatch, Pool, Gas, it's basically the same. I mean, the gas finishes at the same time. It's like a 16 gas difference. But yeah, I do not see what Rogue's advantage is then, I guess. Queen finishes, couple Lings, his own Queen, next Queen will start. And it's the exact same thing as what Impact's going to start. So he has a slightly faster Queen, but I'm not even sure if that's really... It's a very minimal difference. I mean, maybe first injects come off. It's like slight advantage here, slight advantage there. There's not really much to analyze about it for the moment. Rather just probably better off sitting back and seeing where the game will take us instead. So Overlord is apparently done with just moving forwards. We will see Impact. He's going to open with a Carapace upgrade, so that's always kind of fun to see. This turns into generally a Ling Speed Carapace timing, because actually Ling Speed, by the time he gets 100 gas now and he starts Ling Speed, it actually times out to finish both upgrades at the same time. And if you can attack with Ling Speed and Carapace at the same time, boom, all of a sudden, you have a very powerful play. What's interesting is Rogue's going straight to a lair, so while he's going straight to a lair, obviously there's no pressure play be able to be made from his opponent because Ling Speed won't start for a while. Now, Ling scoured into the main, but didn't get far enough in to really see much of importance. Didn't even see the spawning pool, so Rogue has no idea about the +1 carapace. He doesn't know about the later Ling speed. He's just deciding to go straight into roaches no matter what, and that is important because actually, this is really good for Rogue, because now he's not going to get caught up in the Ling skirmishes, and without getting caught up in the Ling skirmishes, that +1 goes, it covers way less of a, it covers less of an, it doesn't give you as much kind of benefit from having it, so just set up into this. You can see that Rotron is on its way up. Again, Ling speed and the carapace here from Impact on the way through. And we are going to be seeing the third hatchery of Impact, well, third base, just coming along here nicely for the moment. And Roach speed starting on up, +1 missile attack on its way as well. The nice thing about having the carapace early is at least you can kind of play the Roach Ling style, so you can play Roaches and Lings, and they'll both benefit from the carapace, which means that even into getting towards kind of pure Roaches later, you'll still also have carapace on the Roaches too. And the Lings can still be kind of nice to kind of tank for a little while. It can definitely swing some battles. No third hatchery from Rogue, because of course he's expecting his opponent to have Ling speed and wants to make sure he has the Roaches to defend before he commits over to that base, which is going to be around about now. So that drone going to be starting to build up here, and we do see the third hatch of Impact is also finishing up in the next couple of moments. +1 missile upgrade of Impact is going to be on its way, so he's going to be behind on that one. Not much you can do about it, it's just the way the build is going to bring him. Yeah, it's going to be later on the Roach speed as well, which definitely opens up Rogue to maybe an aggressive opportunity in the next couple of moments. And as these Roaches gather together, Roach speed finishes. Does he go across the map and attack? Rotron from Impact's just about to finish. You'll have some more Roaches on the way very soon. I definitely feel there's potential if Rogue wanted to get something done for him to go, but he's a little bit afraid of moving across the map, mostly because I think he wants to try and defend the third hatchery. And if a Ling run by hits and he's across the map, that might be a cancel, then suddenly he's playing down at base for the entire game. Well, not the entire game, but for the for the relative future, and that obviously starts to hurt quite a lot. So a few Lings come forwards. He kept a few Roaches behind his natural wall. Going forwards now, he will get a couple of shots off. And you'll see those Lings have carapace as well, because his Roaches are not two-shotting them, despite the fact he has the +1 weapon upgrade. +1 weapon upgrade. They're still just on the way in here from Impact. Nice snipe on a Queen for a Roach. Nice to get rid of the Queen. Obviously slows down Inject and stops it building energy for transfusions, perhaps. He's trying to run in towards the third base, but Rogue's defending that as well. And again, no overcommitment just yet from Rogue. No kind of big sort of ordeal. Just goes into +2, +1, and continues on in his game. Not really hindered or bothered by what's going on from his opponent at the moment, which is, honestly, for Impact, kind of the catch-up stage, because as Rogue hits +2 missiles, he's going to have +1 carapace as well, and that's really going to be Rogue's time, because suddenly Rogue's going to have, the upgrade lead. If he can hit while he has that upgrade lead, that of course is going to be massive for him. Fighting again here while still having the +1 missiles over just +1 carapace. A couple of Lings in the main base will be cleaned up just before the Queen goes down. Rogue ends up disengaging. Army supply lead suddenly from Impact. In fact, a huge army supply lead from Impact, about 20 or so. And more overlords on the way to help out with that. His Impact is getting aggressive now. It's because he didn't start up +2 missiles, right? Without starting +2 missiles, he's got the extra resources to throw into pure Roach production, so that definitely goes a long way. And we're going to come forward here before these first Ravagers are finished morphing. He's going to realize that that might not be the best of ideas anymore. Backs away, his third hatchery is in some trouble. Rogue needs a few more reinforcements to come through and to save him right now. Of course, coming down. Again, he gets a few free shots off as the hatchery is being targeted. It's obviously going to be very nice. He backs away again. The issue is now he can't back away too much, because if he does, that hatchery takes one more shot, and all of this effort to save it is obviously going to be in vain. A few drones will pull forwards too now to try and help out with this. The corrosive bars from the backlines are doing quite a bit of damage, and it feels like Rogue's is going to be broken through as Impact commits to the +1 attack timing, and the +1 attack timing himself works out. Yes, he has 1-1, so he also has the carapace. Finals of today's Kung Fu Cup. We're opening hatch gas pool on each side of the map, as to the bottom left-hand side is a Rogue, and to the upper right-hand side is Impact. Game 3 of the series, and we get this going once again right now. Now, Impact had a good run so far today. He took down Solar, he took down Dark, took down Hero. I think most impressively are those ZvZs. I mean, you think he took down Dark 2-1, he took down Solar 2-0. That's a very impressive run through this little bracket as he came through the south side. He actually got a win against Time as well in the round of 32, which is Also very impressive. Rogue also had a good run. I mean, we saw him in the early stages of today taking down Alive. He then took down Maxed and Psyarch. Not as impressive, but then he took down Gumiho and Zest with ease to make it through to the finals. I mean, whenever you have a Kung Fu Cup finals, the players that generally had, probably have pretty good runs to get there. Today was really no different to that. I mean, these tournaments are so stacked, you have to go through some really great players to be able to end up in the prize money, so... That said, it is game 3 now, and, well, it's an Evo Chamber again from Impact. Gonna try the same build order, at least for the early stages, and we'll see if it plays out any differently. Obviously, I think a lot of this is, a lot of this will change in the near future, where, a lot of this will change in the near future, where you can look at this and you can sort of say, okay, well, as, Carapace starts up, for example, yada yada, blah de blah. You get Carapace on the way. You kind of just go from that sort of point onwards. And the big thing is, I think, what does Rogue do? Because Rogue didn't play Ling Speed last time, and now he's playing his own Evo Chamber pretty quickly, but he will be behind the upgrade of his opponent if he goes Carapace. If he goes Missiles and just defends it with Lings and eventually ends up going Roaches, then that's kind of okay. But I think if he plays Carapace here, Rogue is definitely playing with that slight disadvantage, apart from the fact he will be able to go from there. So, we've seen the Carapace upgrade is on its way up, as you are going to see a couple of Lings coming through. Queens. Ooh, now getting that Ling. Queen will get it before it gets into the main, so information denied again by Rogue. And that happened in the last game too. Ling speed is up, and so as third hatcheries come down on both sides of the map, Rogue's is just much further ahead because he has the faster Ling speed, so he feels more comfortable taking the third hatchery that little bit sooner. Now he does make a round of Zerglings. He'll probably look to drone behind this. And we'll see how much pressure you can apply. As his first Ling is going to find a couple of slowlings with no speed at the moment, moving forwards. And again, it's Carapace on both sides, but still a faster Carapace from Impact. That will definitely help him out massively in the upcoming fights. So these Zerglings coming along over to the right side now. And as they come on over, well, a few more Lings coming out from Impact. Carapace upgrade on its way out as well. It's going to be finishing shortly, and now going to see those Zerglings starting to get a little bit of a skirmish going on. Couple of fights here and there, and continue to push up this ramp. We're going to see the Lings continue to fight things out. 16 more Lings actually on the way. Rogue didn't throw up too much behind this. Continue to build units. Now Rogue really has to back away because he's going to start losing this fight really drastically with the Carapace upgrade kicking in. Now he has to wait for his own Carapace. And again, you can see how this game is so different to the previous game right about now, as we do see these Zerglings of Impact. Well, they're going to be gathering up towards the top side, and we are going to be seeing a couple of Balians which are morphing in. They're going to get cancelled here as more Lings of Rogue run on over to the right. Melee upgrade from Impact currently coming through. So melee upgrade coming up. We'll see the Lings coming forwards again, able to push Impact back just a little bit right there. Balians coming forwards. Oh my god, that was maybe the big connection to start things off. Obviously with the Carapace you can get a little bit more value out of the Zerglings, although that was still a lot of Lings given away by Rogue to clean this up initially. More Banes moving forwards, and even if you just get the Lings low, it obviously makes the follow-up attacks a little bit more deadly. The Queen will survive this. Melee is again much further along for blue Zerg player than it is our red Zerg player, and that's going to be an advantage for Impact as well eventually as he continues to push forwards right now. He's going to get surrounds on these Queens with the Lings. That should be some kills at least two. As two of those Queens are low. Is he really not going to get that other one? It's kind of crazy. More Banes continue to come on through as well. He will make it through in the end. That Queen did go down. Another Queen now fully surrounded. And what do you do about that Queen? Not a lot. Ling is going to try and get up in towards the main base, I guess, or maybe just into the natural. Actually morphs in a couple of Banes, which I feel is a fairly brave choice, given the current situation of things. There's just so many units around, I didn't see what exactly that was going to do. Now Rogue's turn to be aggressive though, and across the map his Banes are here, and he's actually doing a lot of damage a lot faster. And you do see the lack of Banelings here from Impact to defend at all. It's really starting to hurt him. Straight into the mineral line, and these drones are in trouble as we saw before. Now there's Baneling coming forwards, and those drones are just stacking on up. They're going to get away for now. They don't take a Baneling shot, which is maybe one of the most important things here. Now finally the defensive Banelings coming through, but more Zerglings streaming in, and +1 melee, these Banes are suddenly one-shotting once again. And again, that's the disadvantage currently of Rogue. His melee upgrade is just a bit behind, but he's up 8 workers, and his melee upgrade does finish here soon. The continued aggression, I think, of just being up 8 workers is eventually going to break on through here his opponent. And that could be the game changer here, as we're going to be seeing those Lings continue to fight. He just finds a skirmish up here, which he wins. Again, as he's about to hit the melee upgrade, boom. These Banes, they don't need 2 shots any longer. And Rogue will have to back away for a moment. A small counterattack is going to take his attention, but 28 more Lings in production. And compare that to the 10 in the production tab of Impact, Rogue has come out of this with the advantage. By a large margin in the end. And these Lings are still being chased away. Another couple of Banes will morph in from Impact here. More Zerglings still coming forwards as well, and we are going to be seeing a couple of Banes just coming on through. Bane for a Bane right there. Still some more connections happening. We're going to be seeing these Lings running around the left-hand side. Just going to be seeing the Queen taking another couple of shots as well. Rogue is still trying to push on forwards. I mean, just still pumping units through. Impact has not had a chance to drone up just yet since we've been talking about him being behind on workers, so it's still a similar scenario. Queen surrounded again, continue to fall. That means he's missing inject, which means he misses production cycles, which means he loses the next fight, and it means things get even worse for him. Not going to fight the Banes there. He's going to leave a couple of Lings on, one of them, of course, to get rid of it. But as he gets rid of these last few drones, or not the last few, but Impact will realize his economy just really is not here. Rogue wins out the onslaught of... Well, another interesting map for the ZvZ. Will Impact try and play the melee again? Or the Carapace upgrade again? Might not get a chance to the bottom right hand side, opening with the 12 pool. It's our red Zerg player, Rogue. And the top left, our blue Zerg from Titan X1, Impact. So, hatchery coming on up here from Impact, and obviously that's the dream start here for Rogue, considering it's a 12 pool from him. He wants to play against the hatchery first to be able to get this going. Drones are going to rally to the extractor, so his drone will rally to the extractor, next drone will rally to the spawning pool. And the first 6 Zerglings of Rogue in the meantime are going to start moving on. He will start up his hatchery. It's actually quite a long rush distance, Dreamcatcher, which means that Impact will not see the lack of the hatchery being late for a while, but he might see the Zerglings. Depends on the routing. I'm actually not sure how the 12 pool exactly works on Dreamcatcher, but I guess we're about to see right now. He's going to run straight through this Overlord vision, so he will see this Impact. He will know this is coming, and he will start to mentally prepare himself for this defense. A lot of this will come down to control. A lot of this will come down to the micro on the top left side of the map as he starts to fight on the natural, and drones will start to pull in to try and defend against it. As the first few Zerglings arriving, going to start nibbling away at that hatchery. And meanwhile, the drones do start to pull down to the low ground to get this rolling. Well, again, the drones trying to micro against this here. They good micro so far, and he takes a little bit of a nibble. 2 more Lings show up, and we're going to see a couple more drones taking some damage. Ooh, nice, gets a drone kill. That's always great to see, because that means the more drones you kill here, the less you have to play catch-up on, right? Another drone's super low, and if he turns, he should be able to find that drone, surely, somewhere along the way. Continuing to fight this now. I don't like this for Rogue suddenly. He feels as though this didn't work out too well, but he has a couple of Lings left over towards the mineral line. And if he gets a couple of those low-health drones, look how many of those are low-health. He's only killed 1. No, he's killed 2, sorry. He'll get 1 more right there before that goes down. Okay, so 3 workers killed. His own hatchery finished. Impact pulled out of gas, hasn't started Ling speed yet. As he hasn't started Ling speed yet, that of course will hurt just a little bit here, as Rogue will be. And another couple of Overlords on the way up. More Zerglings coming down towards the bottom right hand side. A couple of Queens will gather in together too. They're going to be fighting against those Lings in a moment or so, and well, Queen's obviously going to be a big part of this defense here. They're really the units that can put out a lot of damage when you're outnumbered in the Zergling cannon. Rogue is not interested at all in, by the way, actually adding on more Lings, so he is completely reliant on these Queens to keep his drone safe and to be able to defend this, which so far has definitely been the case. I like this little split up of those Zerglings because it makes it a bit more complicated as to where you send what, where you send what. But these Lings on the right side are all very damaged, so they actually get picked off very easily. And again, Rogue makes that defense happen. Now Impact is not going to waste his time with Ling speed, knows his opponent doesn't have Ling speed of his own, so rather than committing into that, he's just going to go straight for the lair here. into the lair, and with the lair he's going to be able to go straight in towards a Roach Roar and Evo Chamber and start teching up into that Roach-based playstyle, which we see so very often. So, getting set up into that right now, getting this underway, and looking to see what will happen. It's going to be seeing a single Zergling of Rogue trying to get some information. I mean, he sees the lair, he sees the Roach Roar, and he sees the Evo. It would have been nice if you could see the lack of ling speed just to confirm it's not like a delayed ling speed, which is something you can see sometimes still. Delayed ling speed is a very effective way to catch your opponent off guard and underprepared. Suddenly a swell of Zerglings run in with speed, and if you're not ready for it, well, you kind of just die sometimes. Rogue's just going to start up the Evo Chamber. That's the most important thing. Don't let your opponent get too far ahead on the +1 missile upgrade. If you can keep that within reach, then, you know, having Roach speed later, boom, you just play more defensively, and so on. And what is interesting is Rogue with this scout, he confirms he was safe to take this third hatchery. So, the third hatchery was taken a little bit before the scout, but if he'd seen that there was danger and maybe that there wasn't a lair or something, then he maybe could have just cancelled this right away and just gotten ready to defend if he thought he wasn't going to be able to. But obviously in this case he thinks he can. And well, he gets another 8 drones, and while Impact is building up onto Roaches now because he's already fully saturated on his bases, it means that Rogue can start really pumping out more workers and get benefit from the third base, and then make Roaches a bit later on to greet his opponent as he arrives across. So this is Rogue looking to kind of counter-defend the big attack of his opponent right now. Fiend pushes in, and we are going to be seeing that Overseer just pushed away just slightly here. Roach speed about halfway done at the same time. A few more Roaches just continue to gather up, and we are going to be seeing Evo and Roach Roar continue to finish as well. So Carapace finishes, Roach speed on the way. Still some creep teamers pushing out onto the map, so pushing around right, central and left sides. As Roaches again finish up here and Roach speed finishes, that should be the time for Impact to start moving across. Right now, doubling the army supply and change to spare. But again, as Rogue starts up his own Roaches, that's going to become less and less of an issue. His own +1's not far behind. He's going to have Queens to play with defensively too. One of these Queens already with transfusions available. And he's going to have to defend his position as well. So he's also going to have shorter reinforcement distance. And all of these things should accumulate into being enough, just about, for Rogue to kind of hang in there in this matchup. So Roach is coming down, and, well, initially, again, Rogue's going to have a little bit of trouble here. Hatch will take some shots. He's going to want to dance with this, though. He doesn't want to give this up for free. A couple of Roaches stuck in the back, not actually fighting at all here. Remember, extra Roaches are coming out all the time. Right now, he's fighting without the +1 missile attack upgrade, but he's got the Queens here, which is something which Impact doesn't. Very soon, he does have +1 missiles, so that's one of the disadvantages taken away. And he does get another few Roaches just on the way in the production tab. Again, this is always going to be the dangerous part of this build from Rogue. And he is starting to get away with it now. You can see the Roach number of Impact decreasing. He did slip a few Roaches into the main base. I like that. It's not something you actually see very often. Rogue's going to have to get on top of that ASAP, and some more of these Roaches have to turn around. Actually might be the biggest play of all here out of Impact, doing something just a little bit different like this. Eventually it will be cleaned up, but look at the drones that are going down. Suddenly Rogue's 8 workers down, but he is ahead in army supply, and chasing up top, he is going to find himself a few more kills. I wonder if he just goes for the counter-attack right here and looks to try and dive in for some damage of his own. Obviously some of his Roaches are already across the map. There's a lot of them that are missing, but they are starting to rally over. Even some Queens coming over here, and actually at the moment he's continuing to fight on this third base with relative success. Has to back away now as a few more Roaches show up, and then again his own reinforcements are not too far off, and now he's starting to come in from the left side too. Has to be a little bit careful, doesn't want to get too kind of, you know, separated or anything here. These rocks, if they go down, will actually chop this army in half, and Rogue's going to realize that, so he's going to help the rocks go down. He has a little bit of time before +2 kicks in. He's also got Carapace upgrade advantage too. So army supply advantage, a couple of Queens over here with transfusions, bring a couple of these Roaches back to health, kill an Overlord. That's a supply block waiting to happen right there at the moment. If that Overlord goes down, I mean, Impact already is actually a little bit supply blocked. Pushing in again. Remember, this is a Carapace upgrade advantage for Rogue. Numbers feel sort of similar to begin with. Another couple of Roaches showing up. Rogue still rallying across here, remember. And Rogue, his army supply advantage is increasing for the moment. Impact needs to try and hold on like Rogue did before, and his extra Roaches are starting to make the job done. Drones pulling in will help a lot as well, and that's actually going to be what really forces Rogue back a little bit, but it brings the worker count back to being relatively even. This back and forth ZvZ is really going one way then the other, as we see these Roaches are going to keep on trading out until the very end. Transfuse gets thrown down. In the end, Rogue is going to get pushed away, and remember, without +2 missile attack upgrade, you've got to be a little bit worried for Rogue in terms of continuing on here. When does he decide to start going for that +2 missile attack? He's actually going to have the more roaches here right now. He's going to find a couple of queens which are off a creep, so he's going to get those kills pretty quickly. Pushing through, if he could get that Ravager, that's obviously great because the Ravager puts out a ton of damage output in this fight, and the Corrosive Bars force, repositioning, which Rogue might not want to really commit to. In the longest game of the series so far, we are going to see Rogue is being pushed away once again. And now he starts up +2 missiles, and that's the issue. What does he do now as he waits for his own +2 missiles to finish up? I mean, does he just rely on defensive positioning in the work account? Because the work account is in his favor. So he does have more income, and with more income he will push out more roaches per minute. And as that RPM ramps on up, well, then all of a sudden things get very interesting. We also saw the queens going down here, so another queen had to be built here, so he missed a few injects impact. Rogue will be the first player to take a 4th base. And those roaches are still moving backwards and forwards a little bit. Another couple of Ravagers starting to morph in. +2 missile attack upgrade on its way up now. Overlord's still just spreading themselves out, and Overseer just going to sit overhead. A few more Ravagers on the way out here as well, so they're being added into play, and so Overseer still coming through. Queens from Impact chasing. Chasing that Overlord away right there. So Overseer is also moving around down the right side. Impact. Let's see just what that might get up to here very shortly as a queen. Might want to try and get a little bit of something done. Overseer taking some hits. Roaches, Ravagers coming through the center. I mean, Impact. He still has that +2 missile attack upgrade lead for the next 30 seconds or so. If he can attack in the next half minute, that would be absolutely amazing. The problem is these rocks are going to slow him down a little bit, so he's going to sit and kind of kill these off, which, well, that closes the gap on the 30 seconds, right? Now, all of a sudden, Rogue is defending with the same upgrades. He has these rocks to make use of as well, by the way, so if Impact tries to run through here, Rogue can target down those rocks and boom, that could be disaster waiting to happen. Rogue has to be careful because it works the other way around too. If he chases through, then the rocks get dropped. That can also be painful. Roaches are going to split up. I don't think Rogue realizes there's a few roaches off to the left-hand side. You'll see them in a moment here as this Overlord will have the vision. 4th base of Impact up and running now as well. Was a bit later to get going as we're going to be seeing roaches. I'm not sure if that's enough for Is it enough roaches? I think that's the perfect number of roaches maybe. It's 24 against... It is a few less from Rogue, but he has the better position to begin with, so maybe it works out. It means that Rogue should win this fight up here. Issue with winning fight against Ravager numbers is that it's very hard to commit into Ravagers because the Corrosive Biles kind of keep you pinned back for a long time. Reinforcing roaches look as though they're going to head on over to the left-hand side. In fact, a few more roaches and Ravagers that's going to show up as well. Rogue holds that off. And for now, continue to hold off over there as well, although he did eat a couple of Corrosive Bile shots there. And he has done throughout a couple of the fights. You can see some of the roaches, or the Ravagers there, and that kind of amount of health, which just signifies a Corrosive Bile has probably landed. Corrosive Bile's here this time. Impact is going to commit all the way through this. His own Corrosive Bars coming down now will push Rogue out of this position, pushes him out of his concave, and that makes things a little bit awkward right here as Rogue now pushing forwards. His roaches are so damaged though from earlier. However, now he's going to get on top of the Ravagers. If the Ravagers fall, that's expensive losses for Impact. Almost irreplaceable with how much gas they cost. 100 gas a piece of Ravager. 75 gas once they've walked in from a Roach. Runs through Corrosive Bars even. That's how desperate Rogue is to take advantage of that over there. Pulling back towards the Spine Crawler to help out. This skirmish still happening in the bottom left-hand side. Has been for quite some time. Now Impact going to try and refight over here, but I don't think he has the numbers. Or does he? Is it now the other way around where the Ravagers of Rogue are a little bit exposed? I don't think so. There's enough roaches to protect. And this army over here has backed away once and for all as well, at least for the moment. He can come back in, but he's really backed way far off, so he's given it quite some time before he comes back to it. And Rogue is suddenly 40 RB supply ahead. Suddenly things are looking up for our Jinair Zerg player who's looking for his second Kung Fu Cup victory after 3 finals. Lost one to Dark 3-0, won one against Dark 3-0. Now looking to win against Impact 3-1 because right here, there's not an answer for him. He's going to get his roaches caught. That hurts. He's losing a lot of roaches as they turn that corner. Big pain so far as we're going to see roaches pushing in. Corrosive Bile or 2 coming down. More roaches coming forwards as Impact kind of feels like he's still trying to make something happen, but you can see every single time Rogue's eager to fight. He's pushing through corrosive bars. That might be his downfall, if anything, in this game. Still pushing through corrosive bars here can maybe start to feel a little bit greedy from him. Reinforcements coming in. He's working his way through the roaches. Plus 2 carapaces about to kick in from Rogue. Reinforcements show up. The reinforcements surely now he can get rid of these Ravagers. Those corrosive bars are not going to be much of an issue any longer. He has to back away, but he's still making good progress because now he shows up on the 4th base and suddenly Rogue is the one on the 4th base of his opponent, and suddenly there's not really an answer here from Impact, and Rogue might just commit these units to kill in the hatchery. It will go down, and then he could probably trade a few roaches as well. He could maybe even turn around and target a Ravager. I mean, but you know, none of this is really a victory. Running might actually just be the best choice. He does have Burrow, which is just finished. He's about to get tunneling claws too, so harassment opportunities arise. There's roaches already burrowing Rogue. Feels as though he's in full control of this game, I think. Moving around all over the place. Looking to see what's going on. As you are going to see more roaches coming up to the top. Roaches and Ravagers here have Impact coming on over to the right-hand side. Corrosive bars dropping and Overlord going very low there. You're just going to see a few more roaches of Rogue continuing to fight. Roaches and Ravagers continue to come in right now. A couple more corrosive vials. Ravagers taking some more hits. More roaches showing up. That's GG. Rogue is going to take the series 3-1.